As of this year, there are 15 real, currently funded federal and state assistance programs available to Americans 60 and older, and researchers at the National Council on Aging estimate that billions of dollars in these benefits go unclaimed every single year. Not a rumor, not a scam, real programs, sitting there right now, mostly because no single office is responsible for telling you they exist. Here's what this video covers: all 15 programs, grouped so you can find the ones that apply to you fast, the real dollar impact of each, and the exact phone number or website to use for everyone. Stay to the end. The final group covers support services that don't come with a dollar sign attached, and for a lot of people, those end up mattering just as much as the ones that do. Quick note before we get into it: nobody coordinates the outreach for these 15 programs. They live across different agencies, different applications, different income tests, which is exactly why this list needs to exist in one place. That's the only job this channel does. Plain English, no persona, no upsell, just what's real and how to get it. If that's useful, subscribe and turn the bell on so you don't miss the next one. It costs nothing. Here's why so much of this goes unclaimed, and it has nothing to do with anyone's intelligence or effort. The U.S. safety net for retirees isn't one system. It's a patchwork. Social Security runs some of it, Medicare runs other pieces, your state runs several more, and USDA, HUD, and the VA each run their own separate corner. None of these offices are required to tell you about a program run by a different one. So the information sits scattered, and the retirees least likely to stumble onto all 15 pieces are often the ones who'd benefit the most. If you're thinking, this isn't for me, I'm doing fine, several of these have income limits that are higher than most people assume, and a couple aren't income tested at all. If you're thinking, I already get Social Security, so I probably don't qualify for anything else, that's the single costliest assumption on this entire list. Getting your Social Security check does not disqualify you from most of what follows. And in many states, getting approved for one program automatically triggers eligibility for 2 or 3 more. Here's the part that should genuinely bother you in a useful way. These 15 programs are legal, funded, and real right now, but the responsibility to find out about them and apply sits entirely with you, because there's no marketing budget behind any of it. Understanding that should be enough to get you checking your own eligibility today, instead of assuming someone would have flagged it for you already. Start with healthcare and prescription costs, because this is where the largest numbers usually live. The first program is the Medicare Savings Program, with 3 tiers, QMB, SLMB, and QIE, where your state picks up your Medicare Part B premium, and for some tiers your deductibles and coinsurance too. In 2026, the most generous tier tracks close to 100% of the federal poverty level, roughly $15,960 a year for an individual, with the other tiers reaching meaningfully higher. The misconception is that this only helps people with almost nothing coming in. The QI tier reaches well past that. The second is Medicare Extra Help, the low-income subsidy that cuts your Part D prescription costs, with 2026 income limits around $22,590 for an individual and $30,660 for a couple, and average savings that can approach $5,700 a year. The catch: in many states, one application for a Medicare savings program automatically enrolls you in Extra Help too. The third is your state pharmaceutical assistance program. If your state runs one, an additional layer most retirees have never heard named out loud. For all 3, call 1-800-MEDICARE, that's 1-800-633-4227, or find your state's SHIP counselor, the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, for free help applying. Next, monthly income and food. The fourth is Supplemental Security Income, SSII, a separate program from your regular retirement benefit for people with very limited income and resources, paying up to $994 a month for an individual in 2026. People assume drawing Social Security rules this out. It doesn't, and partial SSI stacked on a small Social Security check is common. The fifth is SNAP, where seniors get special deduction rules that count medical expenses against income, which means plenty of retirees qualify even when their income looks too high at first glance. Monthly benefits often land in the hundreds of dollars. The sixth is the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program, available starting at age 60, providing coupons specifically for fresh produce that stack on top of SNAP. For SNAP and SSI, contact your state or county social services office or call the SSA at 1-800-772-1213. Ask your local area agency on aging about the farmers market coupons. Now, housing and energy, 6 programs live here, and this is the group people underuse the most: The seventh is LIHEAP, the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, which helps cover heating and cooling bills and can stop a shutoff before it happens, typically worth somewhere between $250 and $1,250 a year, depending on your state. The eighth is the Federal Weatherization Assistance Program, paying for insulation, ceiling, and sometimes furnace repairs, averaging around $6,800 per household, at no cost to you. The ninth is HUD Section 202 housing, built specifically for low-income seniors 62 and older. The 10th is the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher, which caps your rent in private housing at roughly 30% of your income. Waitlists run long in many areas, which is exactly why applying early matters more than waiting until you need it urgently. The 11th is the USDA Section 504 Home Repair Grant, available at 62 and older for health and safety repairs. The 12th is your state or local property tax exemption or circuit breaker program for senior homeowners. Almost every state has some version, and almost none of them apply automatically. The catch across all six: nothing here arrives as a notice saying you qualify. You have to file, and some have limited annual funding, so timing genuinely matters. Contact your local LIHEAP agency and public housing authority directly, and check your county assessor's website for a senior property tax exemption application. Last, everyday support that doesn't always carry a dollar figure, but changes daily life. The 13th is VA pension with aid and attendance, for wartime veterans or their surviving spouses who need help with daily activities. In 2026, this can reach roughly $2,871 a month for a married veteran. The 14th is Lifeline, a federal discount on phone or internet service for lower-income households. The 15th is the network funded under the Older Americans Act and run through your local area agency on aging, Meals on Wheels, and similar nutrition programs, free legal help for wills and power of attorney, and transportation assistance to medical appointments. The catch: almost nobody calls their area agency on aging first, even though a single call there can screen you for a large chunk of everything on this list at once. Call the Elder Care Locator at 1-800-677-1116 to get connected, and if you're a veteran or surviving spouse, contact the VA directly about aid and attendance. Before this week is over, do three things. 1. Call the Elder Care Locator, 1-800-677-1116, and ask to be connected to your local area agency on aging. 2. Run the free benefits checkup screening tool from the National Council on Aging online, which checks you against thousands of programs at once. 3. Apply for the Medicare Savings Program and Extra Help together, since combined they carry some of the biggest dollar impact on this entire list. 3 steps, well under an hour, potentially thousands of dollars a year you're already legally entitled to. Here's what's worth holding on to. All 15 of these programs exist right now, funded and real, whether you ever apply or not. None of them are built to come find you. The programs are already in effect. Reaching them is on you. That's not an exaggeration. That's simply how a system built without an advertising budget works. Passive on their end, active on yours. If you know someone over 60 living on a fixed income who's never checked what they might qualify for, send them this video. You could be the reason they finally get something they were always entitled to. That's what this channel is here for. In the next video, I'll walk through exactly how to fill out the extra help application step by step, the documents you'll need, and the small mistakes that get people rejected the first time around. I'll see you there.